Hello, this is Hamish Watson, and this is a new segment that we're doing for Rex Club, where I'll be basically catching up with former teammates or current teammates going forward, and we will just be talking and catching up, and also chatting about our new line of headwear, Push the Tempo, which is primarily based around gaming. So for those who like gaming, keep tuned, and you'll get a bit of crack with that. And also, if you want a chance to ask our next guest some questions, then please comment below. And also for a chance to win a Push the Tempo cap and some headwear, also interact with the post, like the post, retweet it, do whatever you do. So today we have on Cornell du Preez, and I will just let him in now, if I can. See if he joins. Hey.
Hello.
You eating?
Was done.
I couldn't get my headphones to work.
This is just a normal, the old one.
I was trying to get them on Bluetooth and I couldn't get it to work. Just to let you know, you're on record from the get-go, so don't say anything inappropriate.
How to get this louder?
Is that one of your members of staff just helping you out?
That's good. Yeah. There we go.
How is it now? All good? Who's gone?
She left. She couldn't hear you.
How's life going, mate? How's everything going?
Good, bro. Yeah, it's good. Down here in Worcester, but enjoying it at the moment. So yeah, it's good.
It's a bit different with the whole COVID vibe and stuff.
Completely different, mate.
So strange.
Almost like we're getting used to it now in a way where it's not much else to do. You can't really go out, can't go for food.
I know, it's an absolute nightmare. What have you been up to? Obviously, we're both, well, I used to be a big gamer. You're quite a big gamer. What have you been up to? Just gaming, Netflix series and all that jazz? Or
I watched the, you told me to watch Lost Kingdom.
Yeah, that's right. Did you enjoy it?
I watched that. I enjoyed that. A lot of gaming.
Did you finish it all?
I finished it all, yeah. Just binge watched it, bro. I just recently got a new graphics card today, actually. Put that in myself, so I was pretty happy with that.
Like it?
Yeah. Other than that, just gaming, bro. Nothing else.
Have you got the new console yet, or are you just PC?
Just PC, bro.
Yeah. I haven't even played the new Warzone yet. Feel very newbie. Feel a bit left out.
What, after the update?
No, I haven't bought Cold War yet.
Oh, Cold War. Yeah, it's not great, man. Not great at all. I don't know, it's just the movement feels terrible, and it's, I don't know, very old school type of guns. So yeah. It's quite cool, but not many people like it.
What's the KDR at the moment?
I don't know, somewhere around 2.
Over 2 or just under?
Nah, around. Well, I'm trying to go for dark matter, so it's a bit tough.
I thought you got that in camp.
What's that?
I thought you got the dark matter in camp, do you not?
No, that was the old one on Damascus.
Oh, so you've already crafted the new one?
Yeah. ARs, SMGs, and tactical done. I'm going to struggle with the launches, though. That's a problem.
But how many hours are we talking now, mate?
4 days on Cold War. So it's not aggressive. Yeah. Warzone's closer to 40, so that's a bit more.
Time well spent. Career after rugby, mate.
Oh, yeah, mate. Keeps me out of trouble, you know.
Must be hard for boys from the Southern Hemisphere, because especially during the COVID stuff, I know it's the same with Simon Bergen as well. I mean, when was the last time you actually went back home or got home to see your family because of COVID?
Last time I was home it'll come up to almost 2 years now, so June 2019. Yeah.
How have you been finding out and stuff? Obviously, that's pretty tough. But
well, it's tough in the beginning. Well, when I first came over, but you kind of get used to it in a way, just because we have a couple of mates in the UK now, which makes it easier. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, when you make the move, you kind of
it's going to be going
in the back of your mind, and that's what's going to happen. Parents came over last Christmas, actually, so a year ago. So if I see them, it's pretty much like going home, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I saw them about a year ago, so yeah, it's all right.
Nice. Talk to me about Worcester. Obviously, obviously having a bit of a tough start to the season, but you've got a great group of players down there and stuff. How's it going? How's it going there?
It was just going well. Don't know how to explain it really. It feels like we're losing games that we shouldn't be losing in a way. We're like players at top in the league with line breaks and opportunities created and stuff. We just can't seem to finish it. So, and struggling to find out what it is that's the cause of that. But I feel like we got the players to do it. We just need to get that switch where everything starts working out and we start getting the wins instead of losing right at the end or something like that.
Well, that's the thing as well, and we're finding the same at Edinburgh. It's tough. It's a tough old season to try and get going because the games are getting called off, and then you train for a week, then another game gets postponed or something, and it's quite tough just to build any momentum, actually get into the games. That's what we're sort of finding.
Yeah, it is tough, and especially we had before the end of the season came last season, we always had about 9 or 10 games to finish in like not even 6 or 7 weeks or something. So that was tough as well because you'd play a Wednesday, maybe a Sunday, and then have the midweek game off maybe, and then play the Saturday again. So it was like we almost had 2 groups in one squad training together and playing different games. So it's like it's tough to get around it. It's not that it's an excuse, but it is different. Something you're not used to really, but it's a bit more settled now. We obviously got the week off now, so it's pretty good on the body because, especially with us being in Scotland camp as well, that was quite a tough period where we didn't have much rest until now. So
yeah, exactly.
It's come at a good time, I think, and I think all the players appreciate it. So we'll be back to training next week and see how things go from there.
And you guys have obviously signed Dewey going forward. That's obviously he's a good mate. Obviously mine and yours. You're very close to him, but that's. Did you have anything to do with that? Him going to Worcester?
Me? No, not at all. No, he's no, not really. He's asked me a bit about it, obviously, and I said, "Oh well, got a young group of players." Got new coaches that came in that want to win and want to build something for the future. So for him, what is he, 25, 26 maybe now? So for him, it's a good opportunity to come to a place that's got high ambitions and a good group of players. So
yeah, I think it'll be a good move for him. Obviously, we're really disappointed to lose him because he's such a great player and we know how he can just change a game as soon as he gets the ball, really. So I think it's a great signing for you guys, but hopefully it'll do well for you boys. Going forward, Cobes, I think you've got a year left on your contract. I know it's tough to say, but do you see yourself staying in the Prem, staying with Worcester, or do you want to try other things, or is it just sort of play it by ear?
I've always said I wanted to play in France, so I don't know. I feel like that just personality-wise and the way I am, it probably suits me as a player as well. Just the lifestyle and the way they play the game, it suits me quite a bit. So that's definitely one place I would like to go to. Thought a bit about Japan as well. Basically just to experience something new, different leagues. I've played in pretty much all the top leagues now except for in France and Japan, I think that is. So it'd be quite good to just get a taste of everything and grow your experience that way.
Yeah. See what happens. Like, obviously, you know me, I've just signed a new 3 years, so I'm not good with change. But I think if you can experience those things, it's one of those, you don't want to get to the end of your career and wish that you would have tried something. So if you can get the opportunity, then I suppose why not? Just a quick diversion of one mates probably don't normally talk about, but I know it's something that's been going around the change rooms at the moment with the whole HIA and head knock stuff, and it's a hot topic in rugby at the moment. I got asked about it the other day in the press, and I mean, I think you've been quite lucky with your head knocks and stuff, but what's your take on the whole situation? Like, does the game need changing, or should rules change, or I don't know, what's your take on it all?
For me personally, I think if something happens to you illegally, like a shoulder to the face or something, that's obviously something they need to be more strict on, giving longer suspensions maybe so they can get out the game. Other than that, I think boys are getting more physical, stronger, games getting quicker as well. So I don't think, and I'm not too clued up about what happens, but I know just having whiplash from constant contact also has a effect on that. So that's maybe minimising contact during the week, almost like a similar approach the NFL takes, where they got limit on amount of contacts they're allowed. So I think that's maybe a route to go to, because they've obviously had all those things with that movie Concussion that came out there.
Yeah. I think the thing is, they've been professional so long as well, the NFL, because I said, actually, obviously we've never spoken about this before, and I said a similar thing when I got asked it, that I think you can't really change the rules without changing the game, and it's hard to limit contacts in a game, obviously. And I said it comes back to training. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating if you pick up like a little injury or something in training. So if that can be avoided,
more sore in training, bro.
Well, exactly. And if you don't have to do. You don't have to do full contact stuff in training. If you're playing week in, week out, and say you make 20 tackles in a game, I always say that, if you make 20 tackles in a game, you probably shouldn't be doing full contact during the week. And I think it's something that will probably eventually come in. Obviously, if you're not in the match 23 or you've come back from injury, you need to sort of get ready for it again and probably do some full contact before you go back to games. Just to convince yourself for it.
I think it's all personal preference as well. I know people that make 15 to 20 tackles a game and they want to do contact during the week, which is fair enough for them. But I think it's just a bit personal. I don't know, personal feeling for myself. I feel like I don't need to do it during the week to play one on the weekend. You know what I mean? Because it's just different. But especially from the health side of things, I definitely think contact in the week must be monitored and kept to an absolute minimum.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and it's the same with me. We always say when we're back together in camp and stuff, everyone knows their own body, but the problem is everyone is different as well. So, like you say, I know players at Edinburgh who will want to, like you say, do extra top-up conditioning or do extra top-up contact, and when they probably actually don't need to. But that's how some boys prepare differently for games.
It's like what I was, bro. Extra conditioning, normally. Fit guy.
Just before we go on to the Q&A side with the push the tempo stuff, what are you most looking forward to about life after COVID? So when the world's all back to normal, God knows.
Just being normal, to be honest with you. Being able to go without a mask, maybe have a nice meal at a restaurant, have a drink with a couple mates, even just going to a mate's house. I've don't know what to do. It's quite tough. You can't actually mingle with each other at the club either, because you have to be away from each other then as well. Yeah. And just I don't know. That's probably the biggest thing. Just going back to life as normal. But I don't even know what it feels like anymore. So
I know. We said last time in Scotland, at Scotland camp, it's weird that when you walk past someone in the street, you're actually sort of trying to keep your distance with them.
Yeah, get away from them.
Thing for people to be doing, which is bizarre. And I think for new players coming in at the moment, it's so hard for them to integrate into a rugby environment, because everyone's sort of got their head down. They're going about their business with the whole COVID stuff. It's hard to talk to new players. And you know what it's like. As soon as a new player comes in, the best way to get to know people is to go out, spend time with them outside the rugby club, go for meals, go for coffees. And it must be really tough for new players coming to clubs at the moment.
I think so. And we especially as well, we try to make them feel as comfortable as possible, but there's also only so much you can do. Having socially distanced chats like around the club, we can't really meet anywhere else. But I think everyone knows it's a hard time, and we just probably have to adapt a bit and hope things get better, because the more we probably follow their rules and set a good example, probably be over a lot quicker.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Okay, well, we're going to move on. We're going to go to the push the tempo stuff, which is going to be moving forward. It's going to be a segment that we always put into these little catch-ups. It's obviously based around gaming. You're a big gamer. I've told a few of the guys at Rex Club about your gaming setup, so it will get something coming over the page now, hopefully, to show your setup. But we're just going to ask you a few questions. Like, first, have you always been a gamer? What was the first console you owned, and what age did you start gaming at?
I used to start with whenever Jono Loma Rugby came out, which was probably PS1, I think, back then.
What was that, was it 96? No, 98?
Somewhere around there, yeah. And I'll never forget, my mom used to bring me McDonald's almost every day. And I used to just game then. So I started at a young age.
Set the school out early on the Good Diet program as well.
Yeah, and I used to play Jackie Chan back then. He had a game out then.
Yes. Still going for McDonald's while gaming?
Nah, very healthy guy now, mate. So.
On a diet, diet.
not at all. Yeah, so that's where I probably started back then.
And that's the first game you can obviously remember playing then. Because I think I'll be the same. I can't remember. I think I had a Nintendo 64 before that. Did you ever have that GoldenEye?
Game? South Africa's they probably have it now. But not back then. But far behind with technology.
And what games are you playing at the moment then? Obviously Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone. Been trying to grind a bit of camos on Cold War. Played a bit of Assassin's Creed Valhalla when we were in camp as well.
Oh yeah, you put in a fair few hours on that as well, didn't you?
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed the game, but they had a few glitches, so you couldn't finish some missions, so I was pretty much stuck, so I just stopped playing it.
Did they fix the glitches or not?
I don't know, I haven't checked yet, because I've got it on the PlayStation, but I only just play on the PC here. But also, I was looking at that Cyberpunk game, it looks quite cool.
Yeah, Hecky, my little brother was playing on that, I think.
Does he play it? And then I saw something that they gave people money back or something because something was wrong with it, but I don't know. So
you've got your PS, you've got your PC, and do you still have your Xbox, but you don't play it?
I've got my Xbox, yeah. And I've still got my Nintendo Switch too, so that's more for, to be fair, I still keep the Xbox just before COVID, obviously, when I had mates coming around, we just have one on the PlayStation, one on the Xbox, and then we would just play Fortnite together back then. So that was quite fun, actually.
I mean, I do miss the Fortnite days.
Yeah, man. I think I don't know. I just think we're too far behind now to get back in.
Oh no, you go on that now. It's very sweaty. Yeah. I haven't been on for probably about a year.
Yeah, but you don't play Warzone that much anymore either, mate. You start gaming a bit more.
2 kids, bro. I can't.
Yeah, I know.
I try and. Well, that's the problem. I try and get on NFL career mode because I can just come and go on that. The problem is if you play Warzone, it's like you have to commit.
You can't stop, yeah.
Well, you can't stop. And you have to commit to a 3-hour, minimum 3-hour, 4-hour shift. We were talking about this at the club the other day. If you actually want to play some Warzone, you have to. It's a big chunk of your day you're committing to.
You need to get warmed up, all those things, yeah.
Well, definitely me. I'll be so bad now. But
everyone just becomes better, bro.
I know. Well, that's the problem. If you actually stop for a week or two, then you're going to be trash.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about anything I play right now, but mostly COD.
Yeah. And we used to talk about watching the odd streamer online on YouTube. Who's your go-to streamer if you're wanting to watch what they're up to?
I've got a couple, but definitely Nick Merck's favorite streamer. I've been watching him probably for probably 3 years now, I think, or maybe longer.
They all seem to have got big from the Fortnite, didn't they? Really, Fortnite sort of made them.
Oh yeah, they even admitted themselves. It wasn't for Fortnite, they would never have become so big because they were averaging he was a big streamer, but he was averaging around 1,000 maybe a stream. Now it's every time it gets on, it's 50 to 100k live viewers. So it's amazing how things change so quickly.
Do you follow any of the tournaments as well, or any of the esports teams? Because that's obviously getting bigger.
I follow a bit of the CDL teams, like the Call of Duty League teams. But it's not very well broadcasted. It's mostly just on a YouTube live stream or something. So it's not like you can really. It's not easy to watch it just going on to a stream on Twitch and you can watch that. It's more you hardly ever know about it or something. So I feel like if they promote it a bit more, I probably would have watched it a bit more.
Do you ever think we'll get to the point where you switch on your Sky or your BT or whatever it is, and there's more sort of esports team and gaming events on than actual sport? Or do you reckon main sport?
I know there's a channel. I know there's definitely a channel on Sky. I've watched it a bit actually.
There's a FIFA tournament on there, the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. I've seen those a few times. I find that a bit boring to watch, to be fair. But
yeah, I prefer the shooters really than the.
Yeah, it's more intense and exciting. But yeah, I don't think it'll be good. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that point. But we'll see. It won't be very healthy for us. But
I know. Have you ever used the goggle ones as well? What are the goggles? The
VR things.
What's that? The VR. That's right.
Yeah, no, I've never used it. It looks pretty funny though.
Because he was using that the other day, the boxing one.
Yeah.
He was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've tried.
Yeah. All right, mate. These next round the questions it's a fan segment. So obviously this is our first ever sort of episode. So the fans asking the questions today are actually people, employees from Rex Club, Adam and Hector, basically. So they have got you a few questions. So the first one is, who is the best player you've played with or against?
Or against? I would say against, probably Israel Folau.
Yeah. Was that Super, was it?
Super, yeah. We got absolutely smashed by 70 points. But I'll never forget, he was running down the touchline, stepped a few boys, and I was coming on the cross. And I thought I put in an absolute massive shot. And I tackled him into touch, and then I stood up strong, I actually got a good shot at him because he was such a big name back then. And then I turned around, and then he did like a round-the-back offload to Mike Lupa, and he went the length of the field, and I was like, you just get up, you're like, this guy's actually...
Yeah, you realise actually how good someone is, don't you, when you play against him?
Yeah, and I'll probably have to say, yeah, Hamish. Such a nice guy.
Oh, cheers, bro. Thank you.
No worries.
Number two, obviously we touched on this briefly earlier with your family and stuff, but how big a decision was it for you? You're obviously pretty well established by the time you left with Super Rugby because you played a full season there, but how big a decision was it for you to leave South Africa and come and play in the Northern Hemisphere?
It was a bit difficult in a way that I didn't really have an option in a way that, because we only had a 1 year Super Rugby contract, and then we obviously got relegated because we lost the relegation game in the end. So for us as players, it was at a time of the season where everyone was already contracted. It was a tough time to actually find a job. It doesn't matter how good of a player you were, probably. And for me, I was lucky enough to have a couple of offers, but mostly abroad. So obviously Alan Solomons came over to Edinburgh, and he said I should come over and have a shot. And then I had an offer for the Western Force, which is a good thing I didn't go there actually, because I ended up going bust as well. They're good now, but for a couple of years they were out of the competition.
Yeah.
In Japan, but I didn't want to go to Japan at such a young age because I feel like
sometimes if you go young.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, the money will probably be good and stuff, and the lifestyle will be good. But for me as a player, I wanted to test myself in a good league and stuff. And then obviously with the SIU talking to me as well back then, it was more of what do they call it when you come in as a player that's going to like a project player?
A project player.
Yeah. So that was their plan basically. So that kind of made things easier. Going there with a plan for the future and trying to play international rugby.
Was that always something you? Obviously, every player dreams of playing international rugby, but when you signed your contract with Edinburgh, was that always something they had laid out to you that they had in their minds that they wanted you to sort of play for Edinburgh for 3 years and sort of hopefully move on to the international stuff?
Oh, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. As soon as I arrived, I went there with a goal that I want to play for them, which is everyone's goal. Ultimately, if you want to be at the best, competing at the best level, you want to play international rugby. So it worked out on the end.
Well, exactly. The rest is history. You obviously carved up at Edinburgh for how many years were you at Edinburgh? 5, 6?
I was there from 2013, end of the year 2013 till 18, yeah, so pretty much 5.
Yeah, well, mate, I'm obviously glad you made the move. Edinburgh and Scotland are as well. You've done bloody well and gotten God knows how many player of the years and team of the years. But moving on, mate. Number 3, one slightly away from rugby, your favourite holiday destination?
It's tough, mate. It's a tough one. I can't say America in general, can I? What kind of trip is this, though? What kind of trip is it?
I don't know. I guess it's your place. Where's your favourite place to go with your mate?
With your mates? Mate, Vegas, easy.
Nice, yeah.
Best time of my life, and the worst trip back as well, but best trip there.
No, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I happened to be there as well, so I can vouch for that. It's a great holiday destination for anyone looking for a nice relaxing vacation. Number 4, if you could be a pro athlete in any other sport, what would it be?
NFL. Definitely NFL. I don't know what position I'll be because I'm not very explosive.
Linebacker or so, or a tight end maybe?
Yeah, maybe tight end, yeah. But I'm a bit short as well, so it's kind of tough.
Well, I suppose you get the odd 6'1" guy, but the 6'2", 6'3". Well, what's Evan Ingram? Evan Ingram's only 6'1".
Yeah, he's not too tall. Yeah, he's not tall.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing with NFL. They're all absolute specimens. They're tight end, 6'7", 6'8".
So yeah, maybe linebacker. Actually, I'd love to tackle the whole time. So, yeah, maybe one of those. But yeah, NFL's probably because I follow it so much. Watch all Sunday, so... Yeah.
I know, I was saying that to some of the boys the other day. It's going to be quite sad when all that comes to... What, there's 3 more weeks? Well, 4 more weeks in the Pro Bowl. And then it's all done for another year.
No, then I'll just watch a bit of NBA, I guess.
Yeah.
Both.
Lastly, mate, after you retire, which will hopefully be a long time from now, what do you see yourself doing or where can you see yourself living as well? That's more a question from me, but what do you see yourself doing and where living?
I would love to live in America. The problem is how to get there, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Potentially even if I'm a bit older and I've done what I wanted to do, maybe go finish, have a year or 2 there, maybe just playing for an American team. Because I just love America, I love going there. And maybe find a job there or just start doing something that I'm interested in, maybe even a coaching role or whatever happens in the future. But I think that's a place where I would want to settle down potentially, somewhere around there.
Nice. And plans after rugby? What you mentioned a bit of coaching there and see if that works out. But would you ever want to go back to South Africa or?
I would want to go back to South Africa, but at the moment things are just terrible with all the crime and how things go. It's a beautiful country, but that was the plan originally, to go back and go with my dad into his business, go onto the farm, work there, which is a pretty relaxed and easy life, and it's a good life as well because you're kind of just relaxing, you can do what you want, and it's something you enjoy as well. But I don't know, as things go at the moment, I have to start looking at other options. So yeah, that's probably one of the options. I'll probably just go to America. But if that even leads to farming as well, that could be a thing I could do as well, which I'll see what happens when it all comes to the end,
Well, exactly, man. I know it's always a tough question when I get asked it. I always have I have no idea, and it's getting. I remember when you're like 23 and you get asked that question, you're like, oh, I've got loads of time. I don't have to worry.
Yeah, about I know. And as the year goes on, you're like, yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, mate, it's been great to catch up, and thanks for coming on and chatting to us, and hopefully see you soon, mate.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers, bud. Take care.
Cheers.
I'm going to stop recording.